YouTubers, Wozza here, Yamaha MT-10, Wozza Sports Cruiser Rides. Okay, so this is the bike after the track day at Lakeside in Queensland, just out of Brizzy, Australia. The Lakeside circuit is an old circuit, really short, cambered opposite and corners, very tight, very technical, very fun. How did the MT-10 go and the rider? Well, my consistent good times were 1 minute and 12 seconds. I did a couple of minute 11s. I have the standard Brightstone Battlaxs. The rear end was starting to slip a little bit, and on the video you'll see it. The traction control just kicking in as I take off. I went in the blue group. So how did I fare in the blue group? There are a couple of much faster riders in that group that probably should have been into the next group. One guy nearly runs fair at McClacker. I would class myself as an intermediate rider, bordering on going a bit quicker but being safe. Wozza, being safe, because do I really want to crash this MT-10? How does the MT-10 compare on the racetrack to the others? Well, I reckon on that particular track a 600, 750 bike would be the ultimate. You know, there were bikes overtaking this one in the straight, I mean easily, and this is fast. So you know, it just goes to show you that a super sports bike or a sports bike orientated bike, how fast they actually are. I just started to get my knee down. Now, was that fun? Yes. Was it scary? In some respects, yes. The adrenaline of my first round out was quite intense. You know, you're scared and you're apprehensive and you're excited, and there's all of these mixed emotions, and you're worried. And there were people that did stack, no doubt about it. There were people that stacked, including me. I come off the track. I went down the straight, and there's down the straight there's a thing called the kink, and I went around the outside of another bike, thinking he was still there, whereas I should have just cut the corner and let him figure it out because I was ahead of him. again, rider experience on the track, it's a lot different to the road. You know, the road, you're always riding within these safe limits and you're never over pushing and the boundaries. On the track, completely the opposite. On the track, you're going deeper. The deeper you go, the better you come out. You're braking later. You're changing up gears instead of down gears. You know, like on a corner, instead of being in second on the road, you'd be in third on the track because you're going a lot faster. And if you're transitioning that road, what you're taught on the road and the safeguards you use on the road, to extending on the track. So that's a big learning curve, and it's a big sort of like, it's nearly like being left-handed and then learning how to be right-handed. So that's so much fun. I come down the kink too far. I was allowing heaps of room for this guy instead of just getting straight back onto the race line. When I ran the kink, leading up to it, I saw 240 k's. That's a little quick for that point there if you're in the wrong position on the track. I leant over. I could have leant over more, but all of a sudden I'm thinking, Jesus, sort of that bitumen's coming up awfully quick to that grass there. And I made a conscious decision, either commit to leaning harder, and if you go off the track, well, you're in a full lean situation on the dirt and grass, or commit to the side of the track and come out of that in a safe way. So I committed to the second. I put the bike upright, committed to coming off. You know, this is where an upright naked works. You've got big bars. You know, you can ride these things off-road easily. And no problem, slowed down, did everything I needed to, got on the track and got going again. Certainly, it at the time it doesn't scare you, but reflecting on it, how things can change and how everything could change. So, are these bikes good for the track? Of course they are. You can have a lot of fun. Look, what would I do different with this particular bike for my next time? Well, my tyre pressure, I think I had 28 in the front, 31 in the back. They're doing what they're meant to. Started to melt a little bit more than what I want on the side, but still they're in a pretty good place. The front one was brand new. See that there? Perhaps a little higher, how it rolled off that. A little bit more. Now the track day was, I think it was like 28 degrees or something. It's quite warm, 30. So it was quite a warm day on the track. So the tyres, I didn't have heat warmers. I just rode there and rode home. So, you know, these aren't track bikes, but certainly you can have a lot of fun. So there it is. The MT-10 had the second track day. The first one I run the bike in. I'm an intermediate rider. How could I improve on my times at the track? I think there's another 5 seconds for me that I can improve in. And how could I do that? How could I improve on those track times? Going in deeper into the corners, so not braking so early. Picking a higher gear in some of the corners so that you're coming into it and going through it faster. Not being so worried about other people on the track. You know, you're courteous on the road, but on the track there's a different level of courteous. There's a sports courteous, and that's something I need to learn more of. Lines. Get your lines better. What else is there? Yeah, pick the position on your track better. That's always good. You know, your positioning on your track, your entries and exits. So I think there's another 5 seconds in it. Perhaps when these tyres, when I'd probably upgrade to a more sportier tyre, because I don't use this bike as much anymore. 18,203 k's, 20,000 coming up. First half of the session I was in traction control 1 and A mode. Then the second half of the track, the day, I was in B mode. And that's when I got caught out a little bit. The B mode was a bit quicker. So there it is. guys of Sports Cruiser Rides. Again, thanks for all your subscribes and your comments. And you know, it's often a case of we don't bother commenting or liking videos. We just watch them. I do the same thing. And I do appreciate when you do spend the time to comment, like and subscribe to my channel. We all live busy lives, and yeah, very nice of you when you do. Ooh, that's a loud horn. Whoa. Yamaha MT-10.